Allegiance. I'll wait for you.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Dave Dillon,
Here.
council members Norris Johnson,
Here.
Lindsee Larson. Here. Ken Mueller. Absent. Tim Corker.
Here. Can I get a motion for the agenda tonight?
Second.
We do have two additions. Under 13, new business, add G, special event application for Bark and Bite Rough Start fundraiser, and H, easements for Birch County addition. Any other additions or questions? Hearing none, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, agenda passes. On the consent agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes, February 19, 2025, approval of minutes, special council meeting, March 5, 2025, approval of bills, and resolution number 25-07, resolution accepting donations. Can I get a motion for that? Move for approval.
A second.
Any questions on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, consent agenda passes. Open forum. If there's anyone here tonight who would like to address an item that is not on the agenda. Hearing none? Yo, are you? Go ahead.
Do we need to be on the agenda? I filled out a form for a permit for a greens in the parking lot at the Legion Hall, outside the Legion in Milaca.
Do you know who you filled out the form with?
I gave it to whoever's in charge of them.
Yes, that'll go on next month's agenda.
Oh, I thought it was going to be tonight. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
That was my misunderstanding.
Okay, thank you, no problem at all. Then we'll probably see you next month, I guess. If no one else, we'll move on to public hearing. There's no public hearings or communications this month. Ordinance and resolutions. Ordinance number 538, water rates and charges, adding bulk water rate. This is the second reading of that one. Can I get a motion?
Move for approval?
Do we have a lot of usage on that? Do we?
Especially in the summertime. We get a lot of people that come and fill it up, especially when there's road work going on. And then the county will come in to wash their bridges, so then they'll fill up too with bulk water.
Okay.
And who was the second on that?
I don't have a second yet. You got a
second.
motion? Okay, we got a second. Any other questions on the ordinance 538? Hearing none, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 538 passes. Ordinance number 539, temporary uses, first reading. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Can I ask a question on that one?
Yep, as soon as we get a second.
I'll second.
Perfect, now we got discussion and questions.
What are the permit costs for those?
For the temporaries,
Yeah,
it's $50 for those.
okay. And how are those regulations enforced that are regarding to that?
Well, they have to follow the ordinance to make sure that they follow where their tarp, well, it's basically for anyone who has, like, if they want to grow their plants in a greenhouse, that kind of a tarp system will be used. So they have a time frame that they have to take it down by. So-
But again, how is that enforced?
That's enforced by the office staff.
Okay. And do we inspect those?
We don't inspect them, no.
Okay.
Any other questions on those? Again, this first reading, so it'll come back next month. No other questions? All in favor of 539 first reading indicate with an aye.
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 Opposed? The first reading of 539 passes. I need to get back to home here. Ordinance 540, amending 96.01 garage sales, first reading. Can I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
So you're just cleaning up this one a little bit?
Yeah.
Why do we really need to regulate garage sales? Can I ask that question?
I think it initially it came about because some places were having them like weekly.
And some will just leave it out all year
Right.
long, and every week they have the same garage sale happening.
It was more of a neighborhood thing, the questions that we had, I know.
Is limiting those to 3 a year, does that make sense?
What would your thought be? I mean, we just need to have some kind of limit.
And then, again, who enforces that? Who walks around
Staff.
checking that out?
We do.
Or neighbors, typically they'll get a
Unless
phone
we get a
call.
complaint, yeah.
Neighbors will call and say, this is the third one they've had in the last 4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's typically where it comes from.
Our summer gets pretty busy, especially with driving around with nuisance complaints and,
Do you think a different number's better?
No, that was just a question.
Oh,
I was
okay,
just playing
'cause
devil's advocate
that's a good
there little
discussion.
bit.
Yeah. I think that's mainly, at least my experience since I've been on the council, has been that. It's been neighbors and stuff being left out. You have a garage sale and then the couch and chair and the table sit out there for 2 weeks.
you know,
That's usually the problem.
Okay.
Any other questions on 540? Hearing none, all in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So 540 first reading passes. Ordinance 541, amending chapter 156.036E, first reading. I get a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I had Norris for the
Who do we got?
second.
Yeah.
All right. Questions on that one? Nothing? If nothing, all in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 541 passes. Ordinance 542, amending chapter 156.038F, first reading. And a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, anything on that? Damon, anything we need to know? We're good on that? Okay. All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 542 passes. Ordinance 543, amending chapter 156.057D1, first reading. Need a motion for that one.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, any questions on the first reading on this one? And again, this will come back, so. Nothing we need to know. Again, Damien, we're good on that? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor of 543 indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 543 passes. Resolution 25-09, authorization to summarize ordinance number 538
Oh.
for publication. Did I miss one? I did, I'm sorry.
Yep.
I jumped right past it. I didn't scroll down far enough. See, I can't go back and forth between this computer and paper.
Wear the glasses.
Yeah. All right, we're on G. Resolution 25-08, personnel policy. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
I have a couple questions. We went from just like 30 pages to 300 some pages. Was there something that prompted that?
Yes, quite a bit of things that I would rather talk to you in my office personally than you know,
Okay.
at a council meeting about that.
Okay,
And it is a template of the League of Minnesota Cities, the recommendations for a personnel policy. So we're just trying to cover all the bases as well.
okay, and is this something that we review yearly?
We do not. The only time we do anything is when we need to amend an article within the policy. We'll do it that way. And Article 23 in this policy will have an amendment just because of legislative, that I gave you a handout on this, that the earned sick and safe time modifications are in legislation right now. So there will be some changes to Article 23 coming up later after legislation has figured out what
Okay.
bills are gonna pass.
What is our current process for handling personnel issues? Is there a formal process for that?
Yes, it's all laid out in our personnel policy.
Okay,
But
And-
personnel falls under,
It falls
Your
under
job.
me, everything.
to be honest, that attachment that you sent with the agenda was so doggone long, I have not had a chance to read all that.
It is a lot.
So are we gonna table that?
we
I
can have that
wouldn't-
discussion.
I wouldn't recommend it, because you do need a policy in place.
Pardon?
I wouldn't recommend tabling it, because you do need a policy in place.
I don't know that anybody's comfortable passing it though at this point.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
And the
don't
the old
think.
policy remains
It
in
will.
effect, yeah.
Right. Because I think employees got it Friday, so that only gave them less than a week to look at it.
There's a ton of
It's-
material.
There's a
there.
lot.
It's a
yeah,
lot.
And it's not like an easy read.
Yeah, no, it's
So,
gonna
yeah.
take time.
Yeah, and I know I haven't had a chance to like connect with many employees on their thoughts and, you know, it's
It's long.
pretty important. And I know a lot of it, just because I get the same information from the League of Minnesota
Mm-hmm.
Cities, it's almost constant that they're sending
something.
updates on,
Yep.
make sure you update your personnel policy with this and that. And I think that's a big reason it jumped so much. I think the old one was kind of our own local thing,
Yeah,
and then it's
and
gotten,
it
you know,
missed a lot of the really things that keep your city out of lawsuits.
yeah,
So if we table it, you still have a policy in place, the old one, right?
The old one.
yes, yeah.
You said that this new policy is based pretty closely on the league's
Templated.
template?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep, with items from our older policy within it as well. Yeah.
So Damien, if we have questions, we're okay shooting them to you?
Yeah,
Yep.
me or Tammy, anything you want to do. If you do contact me with a question, I would ask that you copy Tammy though, because she needs
Right.
to be involved in all the conversations, so that we're
Yep.
all on the same page. But yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Just in case it seemed like kind of one of those things that you guys like to do.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you need a motion to table?
Yes,
I'll-
please.
I'll make the motion to table it.
I'll second it.
Okay, any other discussion on it?
Is it tabled until next month?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. All in favor of tabling 2508 until the April meeting? Indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 2508 is tabled until the April meeting. Okay, moving on to Resolution 2509, authorization to summarize Ordinance 538 for publication.
Move for approval?
Second.
And that's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions? Otherwise, all in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2509 passes. Reports of departments, boards, and commissions. City manager.
We did receive our conditional use permit for Circle K for their diesel station, so that'll be going to planning commission as well, so they'll be moving forward with that. That's all I have.
Okay, I just had to write a quick note. Police incident, or police, just the summary? Okay. Okay. Parks, Gary's not here. Public Works, or is Gary here? No.
No,
Public Works, general engineer report, info only, no action needed. Any questions on that?
Do we have a street improvement project this year?
a sidewalk improvement project.
Just sidewalks, no actual streets, city streets?
No, not this year.
Okay.
That's the sidewalk down on First, right? Yeah. Yep. That's been much needed. The next Public Works sanitary sewer maintenance quote, Johnson Jet Line, 44,800, Nelson Sanitation, 31,200. Anything we need to know on that from Gary?
Gary said they'll start that early summer.
Okay.
Is when they'll do that.
Is he good with both?
He's good with Nelson Sanitation.
Okay.
Have they done work in Milaca before?
Yes, and they're very good. They
Okay.
come,
That's
you
what I
know,
thought.
if we have something that needs to be done, they're usually here within a half an hour. So they're really good.
Okay,
Can I get a motion on the maintenance quote?
so moved for the Nelson sanitation quote.
I'll second that.
You get them both?
I got Lindsay as
Okay.
a second.
Good. All right. All in favor of the sanitary sewer maintenance quote to Nelson Sanitation for $31,200, indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That quote passes. Liquor store, Vicky's not here. Fire department, anything, guys?
We took delivery, or we picked up our new everything. I'm just waiting for equipment, hoses, and equipment to get here. And then we'll train on it when the president's service, probably a month, maybe two, depends when the hose gets here. Our new used grass rig, we got that stickered the other day, or wrapped, so that looks pretty good, so hopefully we'll have that on the road shortly too. We're waiting for some equipment for that, it should be here soon also. Yeah, we have, six new bees in class right now, so.
Wow.
So what's your total count then?
24.
You're still, you're at 24. Okay.
So hopefully in 2 months, they'll be all trained and certified, and
Will that put you at full capacity then for employees?
technically can have 25.
Mhm.
That's
We
good.
normally don't, unless we know somebody's gonna retire soon, but,
That's good.
so it's kinda nice.
Did they let you put the equipment on, or do they, like the hoses and all that, or do they have to
We
come in?
ordered that through another vendor.
But they do let you guys do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you never know. I thought maybe it had to be done.
Yeah, it's just, yeah,
Okay,
put everything on.
Sure.
good.
There's 11 people in that class, and that's, we're hosting it in town here, so you might see some activities in Federal Hall on Saturdays and stuff with all that.
Okay, great. Any other questions for the fire? Oh, thank you, guys. Planning and zoning and airport, I don't have anything to you. Okay. Committees are not right now. No unfinished business, I do not think. New business, Midco franchise fees and in-kind service amendments. Can I get a motion for that?
So moved.
Second?
Okay. Did you want to explain it just a little? I had a question. I don't know about you guys. had to
I do
call
too.
on
The
it.
fees,
Yeah.
for the in-kind, when you have a franchise fee, sometimes they'll give you in-kind services as part of the franchise fee, but we didn't need that. We have a lot of our stuff through Benton Communications, in which we want to switch over pretty much everything to them. So, we really didn't need it.
Okay.
We get better service through Benton Communications anyway.
So we eliminate the in-kind and then just have the franchise fee.
And that's for services for City Hall, the library, the garage, and the fire hall?
Correct.
And are we satisfied with their service?
With Benton's or Midco?
You're
Midco.
talking about, we're satisfied with their franchise fee that they have with us, their agreement.
But not necessarily the service?
Well,
Issues?
It's just the service is not what we needed.
Okay.
They're not quick to
That's why you're
respond.
transitioning more to Benton.
Yeah. And with Benton, we can have them up here the same day if we need something done, so just the transition's better.
Are we still getting franchise fees from them?
Yes,
And that's 5% of their gross revenue?
yes.
And so that's still active?
We
What does
also
that
get
amount to?
franchisees
What
free.
does that amount to yearly?
Pardon me?
What does that amount to? in
I
a
don't
year?
have that number in front of me.
Okay,
We get franchise fees from AT&T too on the water towers. So,
okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions on the Midco? If not, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? So the franchise fee change passes. Will's Lawn Care contract. Need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And I'll just note that this is for the nuisance properties that we have.
For what
For-
property?
Nuisance properties, when they have tall
Oh, I
grass.
see. So that's what they'd be doing.
Yeah, that's the only time we use them.
He provides a good service.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And hopefully won't need them much for this. Any other questions? Otherwise, all in favor of Will's Lawn Care contract indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Will's Lawn Care passes. C, State of Minnesota lease number PS 0388 renewal. Need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Anybody want a second?
I'll second that.
And this is for the state of Minnesota, for the driver's testing that they do in here every Thursday.
Okay.
And there's no problems with that
Nope.
lease contract, okay?
Yeah, it's just a renewal.
Yep. Okay, all in favor of this, state lease indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the state lease passes. MnDOT lighting update, estimated cost.
This is information only. You don't need to make any motions on this one. I just wanted to let you know that they've kind of lowered it a little bit, so.
Good.
The MnDOT plans are still at 30%, and shortly they'll be at 60%. So they're trying to finalize the lighting. So we're working with them on the TAC meetings that we have with MnDOT to take care of that.
So your thoughts on lighting, I mean, let us know. I mean,
Yeah.
personally, I'm not a fan of just replacing the wooden ones. Even though it saves us a little money, I think they're ugly. I would
Well-
rather get, if long we're doing all this, it'd be nice to at least have something decent.
I read that it was wood versus fiberglass poles.
Yeah.
On the ECE replacement. But then the MnDOT ones would be like the Foley ones, right?
Right.
Yeah,
metal?
like when you drive into Foley, the metal arched ones. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yep.
So
So
your,
those are kind of our options.
your preference would be the metal arch?
Well, I don't know,
ones?
that's just me saying that. I'm not,
Okay.
I mean,
I agree. I agree with that.
Okay.
I mean, we wanted to go decorative, like really nice ones, and then saw the price, and that's just a non-starter.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We'll never get
Okay.
a new fire truck again if we do that. All right, that was just information?
Yeah.
Okay. E, special event, movies in the park, July 18 and August 15. I get a motion for that.
So move.
Second.
Are those pretty well attended?
I think so, Mary?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the ones I've been to have.
100 to 200 people.
Mhm.
Is there much cost for the city for those?
Free.
Yeah,
No, I mean,
We
for the
just have
city
to
to
rent the
provide that
movies.
service?
We rent the movies. That's all we do.
So pretty minimal.
Yeah.
yeah, who has the screen, the inflatable screen? Is that the cities?
No.
No, it's the schools, isn't it?
Is that Jordan's or is that the schools?
It's the schools, the,
Okay.
It was originally purchased by the Milaca Coalition.
Oh,
Oh,
that's what
yeah,
it was.
that's right.
Yep. I knew it was some connection there. I wasn't sure how it was. Yep, through the coalition.
and we use the, Public Works puts the screen up in the band shell, but we do use the coalition's equipment and speakers to show the movie.
Yeah. It's a good joint project. Did I get a motion second for that?
You did?
Okay, all right. Any other questions on the movies in the park? If not, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? So the movies in the park special event passes. Moving on to F, the DAC service agreement.
Move for approval.
I'll second.
Any questions on that?
Is
This
that
one-
arrangement working well? Is there arrangement you have with them working well?
This will be a new service agreement for them to stuff envelopes for us.
So they haven't in the past?
No,
Okay.
they haven't. So we
They've done
just,
custodial.
all they do is our custodial for
Yeah.
a lot of our public
I
buildings.
see, okay.
So this will be stuffing the utility bills. So they'll take care of that for us, and it's gonna save us $1,200 a year.
Oh, wow.
Because the company that we had doing it, their machine constantly jammed up all of our bills, so we'd end up with more time. Plus their contract, you couldn't get out of it, and it was a 3-year contract. So once you signed it, you were in there for 3 years, and they increased the price as well, so. So we would give DAC a try, and would rather keep the business local.
Yeah, I'd much rather see it go to them.
I, G, and H,
But yes, they do our custodial, and I would say do a very good job.
yes.
Yep. All right, any other questions? Otherwise, all in favor of the DAC service agreement indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed, DAC service agreement passes. Okay, the two add-ons, additions to the agenda come in here at G. Where'd I put it? Oh, there it is, sorry. Special event application for Bark and Bite Rough Start fundraiser. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
This is being done through Jen Taylor's high school class, correct? Her small business class, yep. So a lot of the kids are in charge of this project. I know they're working with Rough Start. They got a really neat plan for it. It should be a kind of fun event. Can I get any other questions? Sorry. Nope, all in favor for the special event application for Bark and Bite Rough Start fundraiser indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? That application passes. The other additional is H, the easements for Birch Country Addition. Can I get a motion for that? Move for
So moved.
approval?
Who was the second? Tim?
Tim,
Okay.
any questions? Damien, at all look good to you?
Yep, had some back and forth with the surveyor and communicating with Norris and Tammy, so we're all good.
That easement thing got all figured out?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
I just signed my portion now. I think they're gonna come and pick up tomorrow. Just my conversations with the surveyor, they're gonna try and get everything processed so they can possibly close tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep.
And then he'd like to get going right away, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. Well, as soon as he can. Okay. Any questions on that? Are you good, Norris?
Yep.
Okay, you're digging through papers. I want to make sure you're okay. Okay, all in favor of the easement for Birch Country Addition, indicate with an eye. Aye. Opposed? So the easements for that pass. Miscellaneous, we don't have anything to add there, okay? Council comments. You want to go first this time, Norris?
Yep, I don't have anything to.
Okay, then we'll go that way.
I have nothing.
Okay, Tim?
Nope.
Okay. I just have one thing, just a quick update on our Empowering Small Minnesota Cities grant program that we've been part of. Since we last met, what have we had? We had just one small meeting since our last special meeting. Yep, and our plan was to just kind of catch our breath for a minute and get the work back that Sam's working on.
And
then
Phil.
And Phil,
He's
yep.
working on the survey.
Yep, once those guys come back with some more information, we'll move forward a little bit. I did meet with Senator Klobuchar, she was in Milaca today, and we did discuss a little bit about this and the funds that we applied for through Representative Stauber's office. We can also apply for through her, and then they kind of work it all together. It sounds like 2025 is just gonna be a mess and it's just not gonna happen until things get figured out. But we can apply for 2026. And we talked about that possibly we could use that towards the Highway 23 roundabout project
Yeah.
to help us out with some of those roundabout costs and all those things. So that's kind of what we're looking for with that program. cross your fingers that it
And that has
stays
to get
alive.
in by the end of the month.
Yeah, that's a quickie. Yep.
Yep, so I'll be quick putting together some language for that one.
Yeah, and then I do have a meeting coming up next week with Soil and Water. They feel that there's some grant programs that they have that might help us out with infrastructure out at the Milaca Junction project. So that's kind of where that's at. So it's still moving, we're still chugging ahead, so hopefully we'll have more news in April. And then I just had one other thing, have you been to Milaca Meats yet? It's outstanding.
It is.
Yeah, have you been out there yet? It's really good.
It was busy when we were out there,
Yeah, busy. I bought a few things that are very good.
and a great selection.
Yeah, it's a nice looking store. It's a great addition, so
Yeah.
that's
I have-
really nice.
I have one quick thing.
Mhm.
I just lost what it was.
Geez, I never did that.
Oh, I know what it was. I was gonna ask Tammy if you have you heard of any progress on the grant for the possible shelter in Trimble Park?
No, I haven't. Haven't
Okay.
received any communication.
I know
back from
Gary
them
was
yet.
busy with that one.
Yeah. But we are getting some more brick donations though.
Yeah, I
So
saw
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, that's good.
Good.
Say, if the grant doesn't go through, can I hold a fundraiser? Or is that
No.
a conflict of interest?
You can't do that.
I can't. Okay,
Not on behalf of the city, you cannot,
okay.
so.
Just a
It
good
would have to
question.
be a private,
All right,
like some other private, but no,
Maybe
the city
through, maybe
can't.
through our community foundation.
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah,
That
you
would be
could
a
do that.
possibility.
Mhm.
Yep.
all right. Keep that in mind.
Which, by the way, thank you, our Spring Gala fundraiser is coming up April 25th, right? Mary?
Yes,
Okay, I had the date wrong before. Friday, April 25th at the Grecky Center. El Jalisco's catering again. They're doing something a little bit different this time, so it's not the same as we had last time. And it should be good. We have over $9,000 of grants to give out. So if you need money, please apply for that too, because you go on the Remember Community Foundation website and you can apply. Any nonprofit.
okay.
So if nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
You want to sell?
I'll get maybe